think
what is it that you would trigger if you're
You probably like put it typed in a passcode a bunch, but
with my butt? Now, you may have heard about the many talents of my butt, but that's not one of them.
yes, that is
The dexterity is not quite fine enough to punch in numbers.
Oh, hi.
Is this your personal cheering?
This is her posse.
The posse. It's a squad.
Oh, you fix it? Oh, I thought you were
We're about to sing a nigun titled the Elul Nigun, which is the month that we are in right now before High Holidays, when we are thinking about tshuva and which literally returning and in this time of reflection. And this is a beautiful nigun for this time of season, so I hope you'll join with me. It's pretty easy to catch on to.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to everyone in person. Welcome to all those in our virtual congregation. We're so happy you're with us today. We take a moment to breathe out the stress of the week, to forget the details, the doings, the appointments, the requirements, and breathe in that rest, that peace, that relaxation, that space between our shoulders of Shabbat. We light the Shabbat candles. We welcome Jessica and Jamie to the Bima to help us bring that light of Shabbat into our souls. We turn to page 12 in our Siddur, Lechu Ranana. Come, sing with us.
This is a given, but everyone, please feel free to sing with me. It's lovely to hear your voices after. Sorry, that was a good mic check too. This is a given, but please feel free to sing with me whenever. It's so lovely to hear your voices, especially after so long on Zoom.
To God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God.
take this moment to listen to the beautiful sounds of Shabbat. Welcome our Shabbat bride, and we will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And right before verse 9, Boi Veshalom, we will stand and turn to face the door we entered from and greet Shabbat.
that we welcome Shabbat, let's take a moment to welcome each other. Say Shabbat Shalom to somebody you came with, somebody you don't know even. It's good for you. Meet someone new.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. About 4 years ago, I spent Shabbat in a refugee camp in a small island in Greece called Lesbos. I remember a 3-year-old Syrian girl named Yasmin leaned her face into my face for a kiss. It was before coronavirus, so it was okay. I remember her. She had pierced ears and 2 tiny pigtails. I remember so much from visiting that camp and others like it. I remember watching a woman dressed in a black burqa, her face exposed. She was an elementary school teacher who had fled the Taliban in Afghanistan. I watched her as she read the book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, to children who had been labeled as what they called unaccompanied minors. Children who were at a refugee camp on a tiny island in Greece without parents. They were alone. Their parents had been killed, or their parents had sent them ahead in the vain hope that they would survive, and so far, they had. As we watch these heartbreaking scenes from Afghanistan this week, I think about that experience a lot. There are so many sermons I could give tonight. There's a sermon about the existence of cruelty in the world, about Assad and ISIS and Hamas and the Taliban, about morality, about war, about politics, about interventionism and responsibility. There's a sermon about who we are as a country versus who we tell ourselves we are as a country, about our perceptions and our role in the Middle East. There's a sermon about God's role in all of this. Probably more than one sermon about that. What is God doing while all of this is happening? And there's, of course, a sermon about us, about the Jews, about our own history of refugeeism. There's so much to say. But tonight, I want to talk about the importance of liberal religion. I don't think it's what you're reading about in the paper or what comes up in your social media feed, but for me, watching the takeover by religious extremists underscores that we, religious liberals, are more essential than ever, and we can play a desperately needed role in the global conversation of ideas. There's a story in the Torah portion this week about what we call the incorrigible son. It's a story of a teenage boy. He doesn't listen to his parents. He doesn't listen to his father, and he doesn't listen to his mother. His father disciplines him. He doesn't listen. His mother disciplines him. He doesn't listen. The son is drunk and defiant. The parents bring him to the town square to face the elders. They testify about his wrongdoing. And verse 21 says this: "Thereupon his town's council shall stone him to death. Thus you will sweep out evil from your midst, and all Israel will hear and be afraid." This is one of the reasons I'm reminded why we don't have B'nai Mitzvahs over the summer, these Torah portions, right? But that's what Torah, our ancient text, says. The child is defiant, so take the child out in public and stone him. That way everyone will hear about it and everyone will be afraid. There's so much wrong with that verse, I can't even begin to take it apart. Does it look like at all the Judaism that you and I love? No. Does it look like the justice tradition that we are commanded to pursue? No. Is that a symbol, an example of being empathic, like we are commanded to be? No. Is fear how we want people to feel? No. But you and I can read that and basically turn the page. And you know why? It's because the modus operandi of Judaism is interpretation. The rabbis in antiquity, you know what they thought of this passage? They despised it. They lived in antiquity, and even they knew that there was something deeply troubling about that verse. But they couldn't change it, and I can't change it, and you can't change it. It will always be there. So, you know what they did? They added to it. They added laws around it so that something like a stoning could never happen. They presented case after case after case explaining how specific and how exact the circumstance would have to be to go through with something like that. They overlaid those verses with a web of preconditions so thick that it could never be breached. They made it impossible to go through with that law. That is the value of a liberal approach to religion, and it's always been a part of the Jewish mindset. The ability to see profound value while simultaneously acknowledging deep flaws is what necessitates the work that you and I do every day as Reformed Jews. Religions need to develop. They need to mature. It takes hundreds, even thousands of years for them to progress. As I watch the deep violations of women enacted under the guise of religious law in Afghanistan this week, I am reminded that if religious interpretation freezes, justice will freeze right along with it. Let this be a reminder to us to continue to be a part of the development of religion. So I say, let's keep pushing our religion. The text can take it. It is strong, and it will push back on you, and you will know when you've gone too far. We need to do our part to keep working on the text, to add where it is lacking, to amend where it's too severe, to interpret and reinterpret it. Go back and keep looking. Add to where there are holes. Help it become understood and actualized. Ancient ideas cannot be crystallized. They cannot be permitted to remain stagnant. They're alive. And we, the guardians of our tradition, as people who believe in modernity, intellect, interpretation, and tradition, must continue to play a sacred role in that process. Ancient religious texts will always be ancient. They will always, in part, reflect a society we cannot relate to, and they will always have passages that are unacceptable to us. The story of the incorrigible son will always be there, and I'm glad it is, because it reminds us that interpretation by responsible communities is the best form of religious expression that I can imagine, and that rigid religious doctrine left untouched often leads to humanitarian disaster. As I see the explosion of religious zealotry across parts of our world, I am reminded that being a liberal and religious person simultaneously is not a neutral decision. It's a polemic against zealotry, against extremism, and ultimately against hate. May our refusal to give in to orthodoxy of the mind continue to allow us to be the light unto the nations that we were intended to be. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Please rise.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעריב הערבים, בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המרים ערבים. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please join me in chanting Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We now join in words of freedom, Mi Chamocha. And just before we sing this beautiful prayer, I was thinking about this past however many months it's been in this crazy pandemic, and I was thinking about the moments when we were in quarantine and when I would have the opportunity to go outside and to walk in Prospect Park, and to see the blanket of trees above me and the vast expanse of the sky. And I was thinking about the sense of freedom that I felt then and still do going outside in nature. And I just wanted to share that with all of you and perhaps ask you to, while we're singing or as we continue the service, think about what is it in your life that makes you feel free, that makes you feel at peace.
כיפד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
And now we join in more words of Shabbat with Vishamru. Where are we on? Whoops, just kidding. I skipped a page.
Aşk eminim.
Sorry. with Hashkivenu. Then we'll sing Vishamru. Now we'll ask for God to watch over us and give us peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Ve'ha'amideinu Malkeinu Lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen,
Now finally we get to sing Vishamru. I was just so excited before, I guess.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the Amidah, page 46.
ליבי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue with silent prayer. We offer a prayer for healing for those in need of recovery. Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzhak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel ve'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Is anyone saying a Misha Berach for someone tonight? We invite those of you watching at home to share a name aloud now. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And together we say, Amen.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. We turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As we approach Kaddish, we think of those who are no longer with us. We mourn the passing this year of Bunny Zimmer, Gladys Schuker, Robert Friedman, Bernice Shore, Dan Francescan, Robert Carr, Jack Milstein, David Schlanger, Marilyn Berliner, Trudy Owett, Joanne Raskus, Reina Ragonetti, Jean Abrams, Jerry Horwitz, Barnett Berliner, Dorothea Francescan, Susan Brown, and Joyce Wallace. We observe the yard sites for Philip Abrams, Matilda Eisenberg, Alice Gaines, Paul Hirschkopf, Bernice Kanovitz, Jules Kornblau, Betty Rothaus, George Rovine, Lynn Schiller, Felice Stein, and Lawrence Uslander. Are there additional names at this time?
Cantor Isidore Goldstein, our beloved teacher.
We rise for Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, bi'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachonu v'yomechonu v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabah mevarach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu vel kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu vel kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Please be seated and join us in the Shabbat blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai. Oops. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'te'avon.
B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom. We close our service with words of blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru.
Amen, amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
so easy, and so smooth. It's great.
And I love the, do you do that for like your Pablo Shabbat every week, or like the medley? Love that.
We mix it up like this, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of these pieces have multiple versions, so
Totally.
as you well know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we just, you know, just like the middle of the week, Emma sends me a list of what she wants to do, and we talk about it, and